Okay, so today is Easter, and happy Easter to people that celebrate it. I am making some Afghani rice right now. I've already cooked the rice. I made about that much for myself because that's about the most that I can eat, if I can eat that much. And then I'm gonna make some potatoes, some new potatoes with garlic, and tomato sauce and tomato soup. But yeah, here I am almost done browning the onions, and I am going to get some masala and put it over the onions. And a little tiny bit of salt, just a little dash. And then mix that up together. I'm going to add a little bit of water. Bet you guys are hunting down all those Easter eggs today, or going to church, or doing whatever, makes you happy. So this makes me happy. So this is what I'm doing. And my onions are going to be done soon. So the fire's on high. That's not necessarily what you're supposed to do, but I do that because I get a little bit impatient. I want to see it get brown really quickly if I'm willing to stir constantly. So it has a really nice aroma to it right now, and lots of oil. So I'm going to have to drain the oil out before I add it to the rice because I really don't want to taste all that oil, even though it's vegetable oil. So it's almost done. Gonna let it get a little more. We want the onions to be almost black, but we don't want them crispy and burnt. You want them soft, loose, stringy, and as dark as possible. And if you don't use all of the onions, sometimes it's good to make a lot at one time so you don't have to saute onions every time you get ready to prepare rice. Some people eat rice 2-3 times a day. It's the main course. So of their daily meals, with just a few beans on the side. But basically, if you don't use all of your onions, you could always just store them in the freezer. And the next time you cook rice, which would be, whenever you feel like it, then, excuse me, then you can just kind of heat them up a little bit and pour them over your hot rice. whenever you make your next batch. So again, it's cooking and browning and blackening in vegetable oil, and the vegetable oil tends to make the onions crispy, almost, like kind of burnt, like you're cooking onion rings. But to prevent that, you just want to keep adding a little bit of water, and then that'll keep them nice and soft. Okay, so they're nice. They were crispy a second ago, but they're nice and soft now. Okay, it's getting darker, which is what the goal is. It's just like making a Cajun roux, well, in Louisiana they call gumbo juice like a roux-based soup. And basically what they're doing is burning the flour, but you have to keep it moving, and you gotta, keep it from, I don't really know. Lots of people make gumbo. That's mostly what it's called. They make gumbo in the north and in the south. Usually the people that cook gumbo in the south like to have pork in their food and like to put lots of extra, things inside. People from the north tend to put more seafood, more crab, and so it's much healthier the way that the people in the north cook it. They tend to use no pork, and they'll eat, some people will put all types of seafood inside the pot, or go crabbing and then make the gumbo fresh. Whatever, My friends and I used to do that in the Pacific Northwest. We used to go crabbing, and we'd catch shark, little black shark. We'd dive in the water and go get clams. And then we would also catch crabs in crab cages, and then take it home and prepare seafood gumbo. Okay, you know what? I think this might be good enough. I'm going to turn the fire down a little bit low. and then I'm going to switch back. I'm going to put the rice, I'm going to take the onions out, put it in a bowl, wash the pan out, then I'm going to put the rice back in the pan, and then you'll see, put the onions on top. Okay, so I have placed the rice. As you can see, it's not in the plate anymore. I've placed the rice back in the pan. I'm going to mix it a little. It's fully cooked. This is basmati rice. Long grain, long kernel basmati rice. This is the only type that I like. It's Zebra brand. It's the best on the market. There, I just ate a spoonful, and it's nice and fluffy. I'm gonna lower the fire a little bit. So I am going to add the onions now to the rice. And this is Afghani rice. So it's real easy to make. Well, it's not easy to make. I mean, if you're used to making it, then it's easy. But if you're not used to making it, or you're used to a different type of rice, then it'll take you a few minutes to kind of catch on, and then you'll be fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is kind of, I'm going to start mixing the onions into the rice. Okay, so this just took about maybe, usually, let me go ahead and put some, I'm going to fry the bottom of the rice really quick. Usually you can put it in the oven, but as you can see, I've got a plastic handle, so it would melt in the oven. Plus, I don't use the oven in this studio apartment because it's too small, and I'm on the 5th floor. It's already hot up here, so with all the windows open, so I don't really want to create a lot of heat inside the studio. So usually, my point is that usually you would have a cast iron pot, and then when you're done preparing the rice here, you pour a little bit of oil kind of on the side so that it leaks to the bottom. Not too much, but you're trying to fry the bottom of the rice, and then you put it in the oven on broil, and it will create a layer of crust on the bottom of the rice. And when you get ready to serve it, you're cutting it with a knife, and you have some people prefer the crispy part of the rice, which is the bottom layer. But I don't think I want to do that right now. I don't want too much oil in the rice today, so I'm going to put just a little tiny bit more oil on the side. That's about as far as I'm going to go right now, because I don't feel like eating too much, oil Um, and I'm just gonna let it kind of sit and fry on the bottom. There. It's just gonna fry. I'm just gonna leave it there. It's on medium heat. And as you can hear, it's crackling and sizzling. That's the bottom layer forming a crust. Okay, so I let it sit for about, I turned the camera off and I let it sit for about 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah, I think, you know, it has Teflon, so it's not really going to burn on the bottom. But I am going to just kind of pour it out now. Okay. So, there's my rice. I'm gonna put, this is just my personal thing. This is, Afghan rice usually does not have cilantro on top, but I'm gonna put some anyway, just to give it a little extra flavor. I just feel like having cilantro on top of the rice. So, there we go. I'm gonna make some potatoes now, and the key ingredient to that I'll show you in a second. Okay, so I'm gonna taste some of this rice right now, and I'm gonna get a part that's got the onions in it. See what we got going here. It's kind of hot, which is what you want. You want to serve it when there's steam coming off of the top, or else it'll taste really gross if you wait too long. So you can see the steam. That's how you want to serve it at the dinner table. So let me try this. Oh my fucking God. That is really good. That's really, really good. Okay, I'm gonna start preparing some potatoes to kind of put on the side. I'm not really big on putting tomato soup inside of, you know, potatoes, but that's what my diet plan is, so that's what I'm gonna stick to. Okay, give me a sec. I'm gonna prepare the potatoes and show you how I do that. Okay, so I'm back. I am going to put a little bit of oil in the pan, and the key ingredient to a good side dish in Afghani food would be garlic. Pile on the garlic, because the flavor is gonna, it's gonna pretty much pull through the entire dish as the base of the ingredients, or the foundation for the dish, you know. So I just have a few potatoes, sliced new potatoes, so basically I don't need very many pieces of garlic. I am going to add some masala. and a little bit of salt. And here I have the new potatoes with some cilantro on it. And you just go ahead and put just a little bit of water to get some activity going on there. And then I will add the potatoes. Okay, so I'm gonna let those cook for a little bit. Okay, so here I have some Campbell's tomato soup, and I'm going to pour, well, hang on. First I'm gonna put some water in here. Fire's on high, so I'm going to put some tomato sauce in there. Tomato soup. And lower the fire a little bit. And I'm going to put a little more masala on the tomato soup. And kind of stir it around a little bit. Okay. Tastes pretty darn good. I'm going to put a little bit of water in there and then just kind of sit that on top and let it simmer down a little bit, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I've made some salad to go on the side of the rice. And I've got cucumbers, tomatoes, green chili peppers, and onion. And I am going to take some salt and just kind of sprinkle it over the top. And then I'm going to check on the potatoes. So here we are, the garlic, new potatoes, cilantro, salt, masala, and tomato soup. And this is going to be my vegetable, my side dish with my Afghani rice. So I'm going to pour it on in here. There we go. Okay. So I've got 3 things, and we'll call this my Easter meal for today, for this Sunday. And you can pretend that you're eating it with me. And happy Easter to you. So we've got Afghani rice. We've got All that good rice right here. I'm gonna eat it with my hands anyways, so you see. You should try it too, it's fun. So we've got Afghan rice, new potatoes and tomato soup with garlic and cilantro and masala. And we've got vegetable salad here. We've got green chili peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers, onions sprinkled with salt. And this is our Easter, my and yours. This is our Easter dinner. Okay. Have a nice Easter, everybody. Bye.